When I was a kid, one of my favourite TV shows was The A-Team. You may remember it. The A-Team were a group of fugitive Special Forces soldiers who'd been wrongly arrested for a crime they didn't commit, but who'd managed to escape, and now they use their time and their skills undercover to fight against oppression and injustice. They were four good guys who drove around in a kind of American Ford Transit, helping people in need and getting rid of the bad guys. You may have managed to avoid the A-Team, and some of you will have tried hard to do that. It wasn't particularly high-class educational TV. It didn't raise any important issues or stretch your thinking, but it did give us a famous catchphrase that was once voted one of the top 100 TV catchphrases ever. When, at the end of every successful mission, the leader of the team, John Hannibal Smith, would turn to the camera and say the immortal words, "I love it when a plan comes together." The problem for us, of course, is that sometimes our plans don't come together, do they? We plan a day on the beach, but then it rains. We plan to go somewhere, but then the car breaks down. And in the last few days, I'm sure our hearts have gone out to those who planned holidays but had to come back early or cancel them altogether. In the current situation, there have been many plans that have had to be cancelled, delayed, or changed. In our own family, we had some wedding plans that had to be revised. And being at the mercy of events and powerless to change them makes us realise just how limited we are and we can be. Of course, there is one whose plans are never cancelled or thrown off course because he has absolute power and complete control. And actually, when we come to realise that, it's an amazing comfort. Psalm 33 is a psalm that reminds us of that comfort. It's a great psalm of assurance and security. And in verse 11, it tells us, "The Lord's plans stand firm forever. His intentions can never be shaken." You see, we make plans, and God has given us the ability to do that. But in the end, it isn't the thoughts and plans of human beings that are always realised and fulfilled. In fact, so often, human plans are like sandcastles. They don't stand firm, and with the tide of time, they crumble and come to nothing. But God's plans are rock solid. They can never be shaken. What God plans, he always realises. What God starts, he always finishes. And even in a time of crisis, we can know that his plans will never be blocked or diverted. Instead, his plans for the world, for human history, his plans for churches, for the global spread of the good news about Jesus, and his plans for our lives will always succeed and never come off the rails. Of course, the other great comfort is that God's plans are always working for good. And even in the current situation, we can see how God has been at work bringing about his good plans, drawing people to appreciate again the beauty of creation, to recognise the value of family and friends, and most importantly, to turn hearts back to him, which may be why you're watching this right now. Psalm 33 also encourages us to see that ultimate security is found by putting your future in God's hands, by placing your trust in his good plans for your life. Because when our trust and faith is in him, we have the confidence not only that God's plans for our individual lives will always be fulfilled, but also that they will always be wise and right for us. The good plans of a good God who cares deeply for his people, which Psalm 33 underlines when it says, "For the word of the Lord holds true, and we can trust everything he does. The Lord watches over those who fear him, those who rely on his unfailing love." Of course, part of putting our complete trust in God means recognizing that his plans are higher than greater than our plans, and that his plans have a greater priority. They take precedence over our plans. And because God's are higher than ours, there are times when we may not be able to fully understand exactly how God is working for our good. Times when it is as though we can't see the road ahead as clearly as we'd like to, like driving on a road when it's foggy and you can only see so far. But even when we have a limited view of what God is doing and how God is working, we can move forward in confidence, knowing that God's plans will never harm us, and that whatever ups and downs we may face, God will use his perfect plans to grow us in grace, to refine and to shape us, and to bring us safely to the eternal hope, future and destination that he has planned and promised. So can I encourage you to have a read of Psalm 33 today, to put your trust in God's plan for your life and to walk through uncertainty into the future with him, making these final words of Psalm 33 your confidence. We put our hope in the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. Let your unfailing love surround us, Lord, for our hope is in you alone.